You know, as a child, when I was growing up, my grandfather, every family had a camp.
Right.
We all went to our camp when the harvest was ready, when the fruit was ready. We all went out and we camped out until we picked our fruit and made our syrup, and then we'd come back home after the harvest was over. But now this culture is dying. This culture, our O'odham culture of the Bahidutch, we call it Bahidutch. It's not, hardly any families are doing it now. During the month of June, I usually pack up and move out here. That's about the time when the fruit is ready. So as you see the saguaros out here, you know, we pick all over the monument, and we go every day. We pick like twice a day. We go out early in the morning when it's cool. When they turn red, that's when they're ready to be picked. And they don't all you know, ripen at the same time. There's so much fruit. Last year we had a good harvest. We have buckets that we fill up. We usually go in pairs, you know, one. And this is my picking pole right here, as you see over here. These are our picking poles that we use right here. These are 2 square ribs where we use baling wire to tie them together. And then we have a hook at the top where the hook is from the creosote branch, and it's a stronger branch. That's why we use the creosote. Johnny came zooming by, you know, Garcia. Ooh, that one's good. Okay, let's get those 2 over there, and then we'll head out, kind of walk back that way. And I usually come back at 10 o'clock, and then I start my process. What we do is soak the fruit. You soak it, add water to it, like concentrate, and mush it all up. And then that's where my fireplace is over here. We put it over we have a big fire going, and then we bring it to a boil. And it comes to a boil for about 15 minutes, and you take all the trash that you picked that was on the fruit, like the grass, the ants, there's rocks will go to the bottom, the sand will go to the bottom, and all the trash will come to the top, and you skim that off. You skim it off, and then after that's cooked, that first cooking, we take it off, and then we'll strain it. We'll put it in a strainer. Jerry, where's my strainer? And we'll put it in a screen strainer into another pot. And that separates the fiber and seed, which is this right here. This is the fiber from the fruit. I'll pass it on. And that'll separate from the juice. And this is what we strain it in. Just sit right here. This is what we strain it in. Into another pot. Into another pot, and then so there'll be nothing but juice in the pot, and the strain in the pot, second pot. And after that, the juice, then I strain it into a cheesecloth. Cheesecloth where everything comes out of it all. Make sure that I take all the fiber out. Into a very fine strainer, not this, but a finer one. I mean a tighter one, you know, the strain. So I usually use a cheesecloth, and then from that, in that pot, that'll be the final cooking. And then I put it back on the fire, and it'll cook down to syrup. And it can take, depends on how much juice I have in there. It might take 2 hours, it might take 4 hours. After I've separated, you know, the fiber and the seed, I lay it out in the sun. Lay it out in the sun for a couple of days. Turn it over the next day, and then work with it. You have to separate the fiber and the seed. And the fiber will go back into the juice to make jam. You know, after the harvest is over, we've made our syrup, we've made our jam. Everybody goes home to their homes, and then it happens in about August. They have, and this is another thing. All villages used to have a wine feast at the end of the harvest, and only 2 villages are doing it now, and they're out of 12, 13 villages. Only 2 villages are doing the wine harvest now. And it's kind of sad, because this is something that keeps our culture going, and this is the beginning of our new year. And when we celebrate, when we make the wine, we celebrate for the upcoming year. Bring us more rain, bring us more rain. This is what the desert needs, more rain. And we live off the desert. We live off the saguaros, we live off the creosote, their medicinal plants, we live off the choyas. This was our main foods that we used to eat way back centuries ago. And so this is what the wine feast is all about, is to call for the rain. We go to the rain. They have a rain hut, wine house that we make, and it's round, and it's made out of creosote and saguaro ribs, and that's where we put our wine to ferment, and it ferments for 3 days. So the wine feast will go on for 3 to 4 days, and the drinking, after the drinking, the wine's ready, then the drinking will go on till the wine's made, all gone. The wine can't be saved. You know, once it's ready, you have to drink it that day. Otherwise,
it'll spoil.
Yeah, otherwise you can't, put it in the refrigerator or save it for, 2 days later. You have to drink it all in one day. That's why the wine feast is when they bring out the wine, they pass it around until it's all gone. And you can sit there and drink and until your stomach's telling you, stop drinking. It's very, very if it's your first time drinking it, it's like a cleansing. You better have plenty of toilet paper.